I kept messaging him after, but no response came. Damn it.
I cursed, smashing my pillow.
I got up, getting dressed as I headed out into the city on foot. Asterisk athletics skill level up. 1 perk point gained. Asterisk. I blinked a little shocked out of my rampage by what just happened. Level 5 gave me a second perk, huh? I considered it. I wasn't in the mood to stop and look through a perk list, so I put it out of my mind. I kept going, sneaking through dirty alleys or unused fields. Just anything to move. Until sweat dripped down my forehead and my endurance was hitting its limit. I was resting, catching my breath against an old metal fence when I heard it, a scream, a gunshot. Close by, I rose up, that nagging urge, that feeling to do something. Well, this time I couldn't resist it. I broke out into a light jog heading towards where I heard the shot, before sneaking when I started hearing voices. Dropping into a crouch, I moved, shadow to shadow as I came closer and closer. As I crept closer, I noticed them. 3 people. 2 on the floor, and a third standing over them. Red optics glowing in the darkness. Maelstrom. The 2 on the ground I could see were still breathing, or at least one was. The girl was cowering, holding the second. A guy. Who was bleeding. The fact the 2 were in a state of undress told me part of the story. 2 people looking for a dark corner to get frisky. Stromborg notices and decides to rob them. I wasn't sure yet. I crept closer, glad that his optics were all focused on the 2. As I got closer, I could start hearing the voices. The Maelstrom guy wasn't happy. Thinking you're going to take it from me? You gonks broke into my shit. Mine. You can't have it. Oh, yeah, he growled, sounding deranged, as this was literally a back alley between a couple of buildings that looked like a dirty lot. Fucking psycho. I zoned him out, using his noise and obvious fixation to move closer. I just had to reach him without him noticing. It wasn't easy. He was pacing frantically. Erratic. My knife slipped out of the sheath as I stalked closer. Closer. Vah! He scowled, turning to look directly at me. His fucking eyes. He must have a much wider vision than a normal person. Even as he started raising his gun, I leapt. Knife aimed at his throat. He fumbled the gun, dropping it to grab at the knife aiming for him. And unfortunately for me, he did it. His chromed hand grabbing my wrist and halting my stab in its tracks. Bones creaked, forcing me to let go before he kicked me in the chest. Bones broke. But he hadn't let me go. He was still holding my wrist. I hung there, unable to even gasp as he shattered my ribs. Ow. He shrieked, absolutely out of his mind. Probably a cyber psycho. Ah. I guess I was gonna die, sorry June. Man, that was a fuck up. I grunted, exhaling. How could I exhale if I couldn't breathe? I gasped quietly, oxygen working as normal, even if my ribs felt like ice. But the pain was not quite fading. I forgot I'm a gamer. What kind of gamer would I be if I just died when I hit 1 HP? No, as long as I had that 1 HP, I was still just as deadly as I would be at 100.
Hey!
I called out then, getting him to turn to me in surprise. I opened up. My Unity rapid fired into his face, only for nothing to happen. The bullets sparked as they bounced off his chromed head. I stared in fucking horror. Mine! It's mine! You can't have it! Oh, yeah! He shrieked and reached for me. Hello, no. I threw myself to the side, wincing at the return of pain into my ribs for a moment as I grabbed the big-ass revolver he had dropped to catch me earlier. A burya, my gun nut perk told me. Rough condition, safety was already off. The gun was ready to fire. I fired, instantly screaming a bit in pain as it felt like my wrist and elbow just broke, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. Not when this Terminator was reaching down towards me. I fired again, hitting his chest a second time, and these didn't bounce. Then I lay there as he loomed over me, as slowly his optics seemed to dim. The fucker died on his feet. I lay shivering under his shadow, but my mind was cool as ice. 1000 XP gained asterisk cool leveled up, asterisk handgun skill level up, Cold blood skill level up. I lay there for a moment, catching my breath before I slowly sat up. The victims. I turned to look at them. The woman was staring in horror at what she had just seen. The man? Damn. I don't think he was breathing. I slowly rose up, managing to get to my feet. The woman flinched as I did so.
You alright?
She slowly nodded her head. I prompted her and she flinched badly, this time turning to the guy. Yeah, I realized. He was dead. I sighed, turning to the Pisco. Most of his chrome looked in bad condition. Wear and tear, his clothes were dirty. I think this guy had gone cyber Pisco and just set up in this alley. Damn, I could already see he didn't have much, nothing worth looting. Just his buria that made my wrist ache again just thinking about it.
You should probably call the NCPD.
I tell the girl as I turn and walk away. Damn, my ribs hurt. And my arm hurt. And my wrist hurt. I started walking, opening up my map just to turn on the GPS function so I could find out where I was. I had a long, painful walk back home to get through. I limped painfully into the apartment. I had been way too far out on the edges of the city in Maelstrom territory. Fuck, that was stupid. I dropped the big-ass revolver off on the living room table along with my other gear and just walked into my room and gently laid down. Sleep.